Hey guys, welcome to Codas Project. It's Abhay here, and in this video, I'm going to be explaining how do you find the frequency of an array element. So, in the previous video, I've showed how do you write the program for this. So, let's get started. We are going to be including the header files first. We have included namespace, std, and iostream. If you're in an older version, then include iostream.h and conio.h. Then we defined a class, and we named it as frequency. We took few variables like integer n, an array of size 15, and an variable named as element and frequency. So then we went and specified the access specified to be public, and then we defined few functions over here, mem functions. We have named it as read, find, and display. So for the read part, we are going to be taking the input from the user. So first we started by taking the number of elements of the array, and then we took the input from the user and stored it in the variable or array a of I. So the size of this array is 15. How this works is basically when we started with the for loop, we set the condition I to be 0. So when I is less than n, which is 0 is less than whatever the number has been specified, the total number of elements, let's take it as 5. When 0 is less than 5, it's going to go to scene and store the element in a of I, and then it's going to go to I plus plus, which means the value of I, which was 0, is going to be 1 now. So after the integer variable becomes 1, it's again going to go to this condition, whereas I is less than n. So 1 is less than, we have taken 5, so 1 is less than 5. Again, it's true. It goes and stores the value in the array a of I. And then again, it goes to I plus plus condition, then makes this value as 2, and then goes on until 5 elements have been stored in this variable a of I or array a of I. And then we have taken the input from the user for the element which we need to find the frequency, and we stored it in the element variable. So after that, we are going to go to the find. So we use the return type void, and then the class name, scope resolution operator, and then the user defined function name, which is find. So this is an example of member function outside the class. We had set the value of frequency to be 0. So when we set the value of frequency to be 0, and when we created a for loop over here and specified the integer I or variable I to be 0, when the condition I less than n is true, which is 0 is less than whatever number of elements are present in the array, when it is less than n, it's going to go to the from for loop, it's going to go to the if loop, and it's going to say if the condition element is equal to I, which means that if the element is present in the array, then it's going to go and increase the frequency by 1, which means it's going to go from here, it increases the frequency by 0 to 1, and then it again goes to the loop and then comes back to this variable over here, this condition. So again, this condition now I is 1, so it's going to go I is less than an element is equal to a of I. For example, if we had taken an array of 1 1 2 2, so if we had searched the frequency for element 1, so there's one more element present, so it's going to be 1 is equal to whatever the place, and then the frequency is going to increase by 1. So this time from 1 it's going to become 2, and then it's going to come to the false because there is no third element as 1 in the array. Then we're going to be displaying the frequency. So for that we have given a condition if frequency is greater than 0. So if the element is present at least one time, then we're going to be printing out the element occurs how many ever frequency times. Else, if the element doesn't even occur a single time, then it's going to print out element doesn't occur. And then we created the main function, and we created an object using the class name and object name. So we created an object as O. After creating the object O, we are accessing the member functions using the object. So we have accessed the read, or we have called the function read, find and display. So over here we end our program. So this is how this function or this program works and the logic behind it. Hope you guys like the video. Do leave a like, a comment and subscribe. See you in the next video.